Hello. Me again. So yesterday I was listening to an EP called Minora Majora by one of my favorite bands of all time, Say Anything. This EP came out in 2002. I believe it was a year after their first album, Baseball, and 2 years before their seminal emo classic, 2004's Is a Real Boy. The Minora Majora EP, I believe, came out when Max Bemis was around 18 years old, Max Bemis being the singer and primary songwriter dude for Say Anything. And I was listening to this EP and I was like, man, I love these songs. These are so cool. Really cool era, in Say Anything's history, the classic period, if you will. And my mind started wandering and I started thinking to myself, man, I wonder where Max Bemis's head was at around here, because there's a lot of interviews with Max on YouTube and whatnot, but you can't really find anything from around that time period when he was 18, 19 years old, sort of talking about all of those classic songs that he wrote from at the time. There's a lot of stories about him from then, because, as we know, he was, it's kind of infamous now that while he was writing and recording As a Real Boy, he kind of started losing his mind a bit. But I was thinking to myself, man, how do I look into this era of Say Anything a little bit further? And I did something that we all do, or maybe just me, I don't know, but I logged onto the Wayback Machine. And I thought to myself, I wonder what Say Anything's website looked like from around the time that the Minora Majora EP was being released. So I looked it up, and to my surprise, I found some very, very cool journal entries, blog posts from Max from around that time, from around the Minora Majora EP, and also around 2004, which was when Is a Real Boy was being released. Unfortunately, I could not find anything from the recording process of Is a Real Boy, which would have been awesome to find, because, that's when Max was kind of going crazy a little bit. So it would have been cool to see blog posts from around then, but the website on the Wayback Machine is it's one of those old website designs where you bring it up, there's a logo, and then you need to click on the logo, but then it brings up this flash page, which those don't really get saved in the Internet Archive for whatever reasons. But after Is a Real Boy came out, there was a change in the website design, so you can see it. So I'm going to be reading some cool blog posts from Max from when he was about 18 and 20 years old, around that time. So come with me, let's take a journey. It'll be fun, it'll be interesting. If you're into Say Anything, this will definitely be of interest to you. So let's dive in.
Called Say Anything from Los Angeles. If you could, just bang your heads with me, shake your butts a little bit. Fucking A.
So we are going to log on to the Wayback Machine and the Say Anything website, www.sayanythingmusic.com would be the address. We're going to browse history. Now, interestingly enough, kind of disappointingly a little bit, because I was hoping for, hopefully some saved web pages from even earlier than this, but the earliest ones are from 2002. Their first album, Baseball, came out in 2001. Say Anything had been a band since, I believe, about 1999, so I was really hoping that there was going to be some archived Say Anything websites from the baseball era or even pre-baseball. But as far as sayanythingmusic.com, it starts at 2002, like I said, when the Minora Majora EP was coming out. So there's some really interesting blog posts from around this time. Let's check it out. So this one is from August 2nd of 2002, which would have been the summer that Max Bemis graduated high school. So he was 18 and he was about to begin college, and this was him talking about the state of the band at that point. So they were playing at the Knitting Factory on August 3rd. I believe that is in Brooklyn, New York. Max solo acoustic, playing new shit and old favorites with Smile, Army of Freshmen, Waking Hours, and more. And then about a little over a week or so later, August 13th, the final blowout headlining show, also at Knitting Factory. This is our last show before college, and your last chance to see us for at least until winter. Don't miss it. It will be the show to end all shows, and will probably be the most passionate show we have ever put on. Read on and see why. Interesting. So here's the blog post from this time, and this is just the whole website is just this blog post, as well as the announcement for these shows. So let's check it out. So the summer is coming to an end, and big change is afoot. Hair is growing in odd places, and we are starting to notice funny feelings that we never really had before. Additionally, we regret to announce that Say Anything co-founder, bass player, and sex god Michael Levin, I don't know who that is, will be leaving the band to pursue the intense academic rigor and artistic challenges that await him at University of Chicago. Mike's contributions to the band as a musician and as the wacky, blood-spurting guy he is are so great that they cannot be listed. The split of the band was completely respectful, understood, expected, and we are still great friends. Mike's final show will be our big blowout show on the 13th, so go. It may be the last time you see his pretty face. With only 2 members left, one of whom, this writer, Max, is leaving for college on the opposite coast, one might say Father Fate has dropped a fat deuce on the anything. However, ye loyal soldiers need not fear. Times may be strange, but they are the most exciting they have ever been. Say Anything was born out of my songwriting and the fierce musical chemistry between myself and Kobe. Now it has been stripped down to those raw elements again, and the possibilities are endless. Kobe and I are totally stoked on finding new awesome musicians to work with in New York or LA, but we will always be Say Anything. If you are a true fan, you know we will never stop making music. Practicing has continued, and Kobe and I have only gotten tighter and are preparing to record at the end of this summer another independent release on, with me temporarily filling in on the bass. We have played a few new songs at recent shows, but they don't really hint at the diversity of the new material. We won't spill everything, but to whet your chops, we'll give you this. It ranges from the most creative, subtle, delicate songwriting we've ever explored to the most ferocious material we've dared to come out with. We are out to fuck shit up with this new stuff, and we think when you hear it, you'll be pleasantly shocked at the change. There are between 15 to 20 brand new songs. Some of the ones we're most excited about are A Walk Through Hell, Signal the Rifleman, I Want to Know Your Plans, You Help Them, and Try to Remember Forget. We still dig baseball, but our new stuff just blows it out of the water. We are finally having fun again making music, and I am writing songs like crazy. People are comparing the new sound to a sick brew of Superchunk, The Smiths, Nirvana, Modest Mouse, Bowie, the fiercer side of the Foo Fighters, Bell and Sebastian, Elvis Costello, Hot Rod Circuit, Thursday, Superdrag, and more. Do you think that that's true of Say Anything music from around this time? Kinda, a little bit. A little more emo than some of those Say Anything was, in my opinion, but hey, sure. The lyrics range from the anger management opuses we do best, nudity, to social renovation and society's influence on our growing up process and love lives. For the Silent, All This Fashion. We can't wait for you guys to hear the new stuff. So obviously these are songs, some that ended up on Minora Majora, like A Walk Through Hell, or You Help Them, or Try to Remember Forget. But there are also these songs that were just kind of demos from around this time that did end up on the later compilation they put out in 2013, All My Friends Are Enemies, the B-Sides and Rarities album, which had... there were like a bunch of other songs from this time. For the Silent, All This Fashion, A Boston Piece, all those songs. It kind of seemed like with the amount of demos that were from around this time, maybe that was supposed to be like the second Say Anything full length. before the Is a Real Boy songs came into the picture or whatever, when Max was like entering college. So he was recording, I guess, writing and recording those songs from around this post in 2002, which is really cool. As for our label/touring situation, I'd love to clean up a bunch of stuff. We never signed anything the labels offered, and we still feel that we are not ready to commit ourselves to any major label. We have been lucky enough to pique a lot of interest this year, but we would rather keep it underground until we are satisfied with the integrity of our fan base. That's interesting. All of the buzz that has found us this year has come from your support. The support of those who care about good underground music. You are the people we want to impress right now, not an industry. Yes, it's all exciting and great, and we all want to make a pretty penny, I will not lie, but our goal is to be career musicians, not flashes in the pan. We are young and have a lot of living to do before we're ready to take on the intensity of a major label release. It may be a few months or even a year or two, but it's not going to be now. The labels understand this and are willing to wait. The future is promising as hell. Wow, confident Max. Punk Max. That is how many of the bands we have befriended and much of the bands we love have become successful. I will be playing a lot on the East Coast by myself and picking up musicians as I go until both Kobe and I are 100% solid on the people we are playing music with. When we have enough people to, we fully intend on coming back and rocking out in LA. Music is my priority and Kobe's as well, so have no fear. A return to our stomping grounds later in this next school year, or at least by next summer, is imminent. Yeah, so Max was from LA, and then I believe he was in New York around this time. Please come and show your support for our last 2 shows of the year, and our last 2 shows for a while. I will be playing by myself on the 3rd for the first time in a long time, and I will no doubt be doing a lot of new stuff. Not much needs to be said about the August 13th Knitting Factory headlining date, but if there ever was a show to go to, this should be it. We want everyone there. We are going to put on the craziest show you've ever seen. Pre-order now or get there early at 8 o'clock to get tickets, because this one is going to go fast with such awesome bands as The Millions and Carrick of the Push King's new band supporting our headlining bill. I have no idea who those bands are. Maybe they're good. I don't know. Anyway, we'll sum it up with this. Thank you for an amazing high school career. Aww. But now it's time for Say Anything to grow up. Wow. This may be the end of our present incarnation, but it is the beginning of something new, exciting, and quite different. I'll say. I don't know if they even realized how true that would be. Please keep coming to the website. I'll be putting up new songs and hopefully info on the upcoming new release. We seriously love you guys and owe everything to you. I personally am indebted every time a lyric comes out of one of your mouths at a show, or I receive an instant message with appreciation or support. It keeps me alive. Thank you so much. I will never stop making music thanks to all of you. Sincerely, XOXO Max Bemis. Wow. So pretty cool. It's very obvious that even back then Max was like just as, you know, like even if he doesn't see it, I view him as a pretty confident guy, but also a pretty, you know, pretty out there guy at the same time. And I think that it's as a parent, like this sounds like Max Bemis, you know what I mean? This sounds like something he, you know, would write now or something. So it's cool to see that he has been this, you know, kind of wild, eccentric dude, you know, for so long, ever since back then. I guess it makes sense, but it's just, you know, interesting to see it. Anyway, moving right along. Okay, so here's one more capture from 2002. This was from December 1st of 2002, after the Menorah Majora EP was released. I'm gonna read this journal entry, and then we'll get into the Is a Real Boy era webpage. So let's check this out. So December 1st, 2002, news, late November 2002, it's finally available, the demo of a Boston piece, Say Anything, recorded before summer with Brett Gurewitz of Epitaph Records and Bad Religion fame handling all the producing. Download it here. That version is on the All My Friends Are Enemies compilation CD. If you would like to hear the original demo of a Boston piece that Max recorded himself, you may download that here, which is also on All My Friends Are Enemies. Next to that, there is a music section with, I guess, downloadable MP3s of the Menorah Majora EP. Pretty cool. All right, and here's the blog post on the website, October 2002. This one's pretty interesting, I thought. Hey everyone, it's Max. I am now a student at Sarah Lawrence College. The band is still together, though it is just me and Kobe. The direction, this part is interesting, I thought. The direction of Say Anything is now more of an Elliott Smith, Pete Yorn, Bright Eyes type deal. With me playing most to all of the guitars, bass, and keys on the album. Kobe handling drums, and a revolving group of musicians handling everything else. We feel this looser definition of band fits us better. I will be playing acoustic shows on the East Coast after the release of our next record, which will be on an awesome indie label that we cannot really name for a little bit. However, we are really excited about it. The material on the record will be a mix of some of the tunes from the semi-new demos, a bunch of which you can download below, and ones I've written at school. I am happy to say my voice has changed for the better. I've been working on it a lot, and it should dwarf my sort of poopy baseball vocals. We're totally proud of the new material, though it keeps evolving every day as we listen to more and more music. We won't reveal much about the new material I've written at school, but suffice to say it's much more out there than our previous stuff, and should dwarf the poopiness as well. Should dwarf that poopiness as well. The demos you will hear below are really, really rough. Max plays everything, including fake off-time keyboard drums. I knew those were keyboard drums on on all those demos. I was like, those are either keyboard drums or like an electronic, an electric drum kit. But it's good that I've gotten confirmation on those, because the way that they're played, it sounds like, when I play keyboard drums on Logic or whatever, so that makes sense. And they are most of the time recorded, I think, the first day Max has written the song, but we think you guys deserve a news worth of songs, as sloppy as it may be. Thank you so much for being patient while we figure ourselves out. No, I will never stop making music, and Kobe is along for the ride as well. Keep spreading the word. Burn these new songs onto a CD and make yourself a free new EP and show it to your homies and their homies. More news soon. Pretty cool. So this was before they started working on Is a Real Boy, which was throughout 2003 when Max was 19 years old. Now, as I stated earlier, all the, the posts, or the archives from 2003, as it were, you can't really get into because the website doesn't work, which I really fucking wish it did. So here's what all those stories about when Max Bemis was like in Brooklyn recording Is a Real Boy, and he was like having like manic breaks or whatever and going kind of nuts. This is what the Say Anything website homepage looked like during that time. This is summer of 2003, and as you can see, if you click on it, we click on it, and it's one of these Flash Player websites, which doesn't, whenever it's one of these, it's never archived. You can't see it in the fucking Internet Archive or whatever. All right, we are going to fast forward a little bit to July of 2004. Okay, so at this point, Max had just turned 20, and Is a Real Boy was a month away from coming out. Is a Real Boy came out on August 3rd of 2004, so this was a month before Is a Real Boy came out. That's pretty interesting. So this was kind of, I guess, in that that weird period, a little bit, sort of. There's some interesting blog posts from around this summer that you'll see. They're a little bit bonkers. I was reading these last night and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Some of these are almost a little bit like too insane. Like some of these I couldn't even, like, I don't know. Here's a few of them. They're pretty interesting. This is Saturday, July 10th, 2004. Titled Important Promise, also known as Manic Sober Blogging Volume 3. Here is my promise. If I become a really big star because of my music and the great blessings of luck I have been given, I will donate most, not some weak shit, to all of my money to people who have less money, and will continue to promote understanding, nonviolence, and tolerance of all sexualities, races, and penis lengths and booby sizes. Ideally, you would all let me and my limited posse of possibly one or two more people, one of them probably being my shitty diapered kid, drift from house to house and get fed and pampered by our fans. If you're lucky, we'll have sex with you, but not the kid, If you try to make us have sex with you, we will run away. We will all wear condoms always and will avoid the sex if we can because it's easy to spread bad things. Also, no sex with really young people who are barely physically ready, let alone emotionally ready to have sex, you sick, sick fuck. If you don't believe that I have that goodness in my heart, suck my cock. In other words, shut up and go away. Therefore, if you want to help people who have less money, which you should unless you are a fucking piece of shit, tell your friends about say anything. The more of you tell your friends, the less money I will have to loan from my relatively rich parents to actually keep this band going. I am literally retarded from being spoiled and cannot work an actual job, though I will definitely have to learn the hard way in probably a year or two when this fails, and that is bad. Word. Importantly, I don't follow through on that. You all have the right to dethrone me violently from my quote-unquote seat of power. I encourage you to kill the hell out of me. Another thing, any one of you can make music as good, if not much better than mine. If you are younger than me, you are better at music than me. I'm not joking. It's that simple. Younger people are always smarter. My little brother is 14 and is 14 times better at bass than I was at guitar at his age. Here's how I do it. I take music I like, rip it off, then infuse it with my genuine emotions. Don't be afraid of them just because they're not cool anymore. That come from my heart. Here are some of the bands I've ripped off in my music, some more recent than others. The Clash, Hot Rod Circuit, Saves the Day. The Beatles, Queen, Fugazi, Newfound Glory. Botch, Minus the Bear, The Stooges. Bowie, At the Drive-In. Radiohead, Sebadoh, Ashley Simpson, fucking Weezer. Jewish Songs / Bad Religion. Pretty Girls Make Glaves. MC Lars, I'm Working on It. The Carpenters, The Beach Boys, The Foo Fighters, The Icarus Line, Nirvana, Wires on Fire, Dashboard Confessional, NoFX, Brand New, Buddyhead.com, basically a band, Adam Sandler CDs, Down to Earth Approach, Thursday, Taking Back Sunday, Recover, Black Flag, Fiery Furnaces, Bright Eyes, Circus Survive, The Anniversary, Dios, My Mother's Voice, Even Though She Stinks, It's Bad, It's Beautiful, and Puts Me to Sleep. So, side note, it makes total sense to me that this guy around this time wrote a song like Admit It, you know what I mean? Side note, if your parents support the death penalty, they are kind of pieces of shit, and you need to tell them that every day, even if it makes them completely uncomf. P.S. Drugs are bad, and especially in excess. Stop doing them all the time. Weeds and stuff can be moderately alright, but they will lead you to other drugs if you are in any way vulnerable. That means sad, angry, depressed, repressed. You will know it is bad if you start doing it a lot because you're sad and it will make you stupid and paranoid. Joints are better than cigarettes that are made to Joints are better than cigarettes that are made to take away life and give money to rich people. Do good drugs, i.e. weed, a beer, a blowjob, or whatevs once in a while, but not heroin, and enough with the cocaine, you fucking asshole. That shit is whack and addictive. Fucking drug pushers who kill people and make kids feel at home with violence, and the stupid bitch police and politicians who make it against the law to do them because they think we aren't smart enough to know what's good for us. Prove to the world you have good judgment. Don't be a fuck. Also, anarchy is shitty. Didn't he put out an album called Anarchy, my dear, like 10 years later? Fight Club is for pussies, and if we want to start again, we can do it with words, not fucking blood of babies. Also, stop with the different religions. It's all the same shit. You know it. Eat me. Posted by Say Anything at 2:40 a.m. Alright, so there's an obvious difference between the blog posts from 2002 and 2004 when he's releasing Is a Real Boy. Wow, this is a lot fucking kookier than I remember it from reading it last night. Good lord. But I agree with like pretty much everything he said. I feel him. I know what he's talking. Hey, I'm smelling what he's stepping in. So there's like a lot of these. If you go to the summer of 2004 archives of the Say Anything website, but I'll read just a few more. So this blog post from Max is actually called Message Board, July 15th, 2004. You kids keep IMing me and emailing me, which I fucking love, but not posting on the message board. It's important that you get to know each other and not just me. I think this is really cool. I'm not as important as you. If you are impassioned about something I said or have a question about a show, chances are somebody else reading this website knows the answer or can at least help you feel better at the time. Considering how many IMs I get, it's kind of ridiculous that nobody posts on the message board. Go there now or I'm not your friend and you're not invited to my birthday party. So he's calling for a sense of community amongst, the Say Anything fandom, a call to arms for people to band together amongst fellow Say Anything fans. I like it, but it's also kind of a also another way of saying stop hitting me up all the time, people. Tuesday, Ashley Simpson's autobiography comes out. Please purchase this CD if you support feeling things, being real, and loving somebody more than yourself. Word. Friday, July 16th, 2004, A Simple Plan. He references the band Simple Plan a lot, but he calls them A Simple Plan. I don't know if he doesn't know that it's just Simple Plan, but whatever, doesn't really matter. A Simple Plan. I hate A Simple Plan too, but if your 12-year-old sister starts liking us, that's actually a good thing, because she's not listening to A Simple Plan. I'll go further to say that it's good that she likes A Simple Plan, because that means she's not listening to, like, Britney Spears, who is kind of better than A Simple Plan, but that's not the point. And Good Charlotte suck in a way, but they're kind of good too. They're catchy, they make kids yell at mean populars and their parents. You're not cool because you hate them. Stop dissing on popular music. The Beatles were popular. If a kid listens to Good Charlotte and it keeps them from Columbining it, oh good God, then good for Good Charlotte. The ultimate example of this is my tiny friend Christopher Caraba. Oh, that's the Dashboard Confessional. Because he is good looking and successful and kids like him, now a lot of kids who used to like him hate him. Even I went through a period where I was all, fuck Dashboard, yo, that shit is the Antichrist of rock, listen to Joy Division, man, they're good, Blink-182 is the devil, blah blah blah. I was an unhappy, bitter piece of shit. You know he is amazing. You know you've listened to that CD more than your stupid Mars Volta CD. Which is good too, but come on. He saved your fucking lives at one point, and now you diss on him. It's typical and boring. It's much more punk to stick by Dashboard and listen to his new CD, pretty fucking good, and new single, even fucking better. He spent years touring to kids who wouldn't even listen to him because he was playing soft music, so it's not like he didn't earn it. He's a smart, good guy. Fuck you. Yo, I fucking feel that, motherfucker. I feel that about, shit nowadays. That is so relevant and so true. Good for you, Max. He had so much, insight and kind of wisdom for, a 20-year-old dude in 2004, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, that's dope. I literally feel that same way about, certain artists nowadays. Anyway, here's, the last one I will read. Saturday, July 17th, 2004, orgy/record release. Hello, we are having a show/party/orgy of critics, in honor of the release of our album, Say Anything Is a Real Boy, on Doghouse Records. It will take place August 8th at the Small Room in the Knitting Factory, Hollywood. If you are really down to go, you should pre-order tickets because it's such a small room. Our Skinny White Friends and Hello Goodbye will also be playing. Nice. I also love Hello Goodbye, one of my favorite bands too. If you like really good pop music, a la the All-American Rejects, Hot Hot Heat, Reggie, or the other bands on their label, Drive-Thru Records, you will like them too. Very true. Wow! So this was 2004, so Hello Goodbye had just released their, that EP, that classic first Hello Goodbye EP. Wow. Imagine seeing, so they played, the Is a Real Boy record release party. That's crazy. Imagine seeing super old school Hello Goodbye, play the Is a Real Boy album release party. That's like legendary at this point. It probably didn't seem like anything too crazy at the time, but now looking back, it's like, wow, that's emo history right there. Let's see, where was I? Check them out at www.hellogoodbye.net. Forrest is also ace at recording bands and designing websites. He did the demos for our album. I didn't know that. That's cool. And one time stole a girl from me. Not surprised. Anyway, I hope to see a lot of you there, and instead of being awkward and standing there, how about dancing and singing along? It makes it more fun for everybody, even if we all look silly. Pre-order our CD. Love, Max. Click here to buy tickets for the record release show. Fucking awesome. I don't need to even explain to y'all why and how that's fucking awesome, because it fucking is. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up for today. I just thought that this was very, very interesting. You know, Say Anything are an interesting band. It's interesting to look back upon the, the old blogs from Max at the time. Specifically, the ones from around the Is a Real Boy era. As I said earlier, there's an obvious shift in tone from him. He seemed very cordial and a little bit more put together on the ones from 02, but then once, the 04 Is a Real Boy posts, he seems a little bit more unhinged, which, that's pretty much how I've come to know the story of Say Anything, so it's cool to see that to see that sort of present itself, at the time. But anyways, yeah. Thought this was a cool little video. If I ever come across any other cool shit on the Wayback Machine, I go on there a lot. So if I see anything else that piques my interest, I might make some more videos like these. Who knows? But yeah. Anyways, hope you're staying safe out there. These are crazy times we're living through, but we're all getting through it together. Wishing peace and love and, tranquility to everyone out there. It's been your man, Julian, aka the Cozy Representative. Hope you all have a peaceful day. Peace out. See ya.